remind you, the Supreme Court yesterday declared allocation of 218 coal blocks allocated since 1993 as illegal, arbitrary and unconstitutional. It has stopped short, of course, of deallocating them for now. The repercussions are, of course, on all the sectors I read out: power, metals, banking. In fact, the cascading effect will go down all the way to the economy itself if power output is reduced from current levels. How do you assess the impact going forward? How might we disentangle this entire problem? Vinayak Chatterjee, Chairman of Feedback Infrastructure, and Mr. P. Pradeep Kumar, Managing Director, Corporate Banking at State Bank of India, join us with their views. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us. Vinayak, your first thoughts. There was one analyst who told us that if the Supreme Court took its time to declare which mine can go on mining coal, then probably we are looking at a loss of 1% of the GDP for the current year. What is your first initial impact on the economy, according to you?
You know, I would urge that we don't get into any panic comments and panic reactions to the Supreme Court judgment. It has been known for quite some time that the coal allocation process was being scrutinized, that everything was not above board. It is an old story. The Supreme Court has finally come up and said that from 1993 onwards, it is not pleased with the manner in which this matter has been handled. While it has given its point of view, it has also been cautious in saying or in not deallocating any coal blocks. And I think the way we should look at it is that the Supreme Court is unlikely to disrupt operations. It is unlikely to do anything drastic that will affect production of the mines or its production to other sectors of the economy. However, I think the judgment would seek to clean up the sector. So my belief is that we take the judgment for what it's worth, and I don't think anybody largely would disagree with the spirit that the honourable judges have shared with the nation in their collective point of view. It is a time, certainly, one more impetus to clean up the sector, to professionalize it. And at the same time, I firmly believe that there is nothing that's going to happen that's going to severely jeopardize ongoing operations.
But Vinayak, if you're a power company with a captive coal mine, which was allocated to you after 1993, can you mine it from yesterday, or should you just stop mining first of all?
No. My understanding of the judgment in terms of people that I've spoken to is that there is nothing that says stop what you're doing today.
But they call it illegal, so that should not be read as stop mining until further orders.
That's my interpretation of it, unless somebody has a different point of view, which says, yes, we have taken a look at the procedures and processes and have question marks on their legality. That is not to say that as soon as the judgment comes out, stop doing everything. So I think the markets and entrepreneurs and developers in these sectors should not jump to any hasty negative conclusions. Business should carry on as usual, and I'm sure the honourable judges along with the government will see to it that there is minimum disruption to the economy, to the government and to production. And I hope it pans out that way.
Okay, fair enough. We'll just come back to you, Vinayak, in a bit. We have P. Pradeep Kumar, the MD Corporate Banking at SBI, to assess the possible impact of this situation on the banking sector and on SBI in particular. Mr. Pradeep Kumar, thank you for joining us. First, if you could tell us, what is the exact quantum of loans that the entire banking industry has given to the power sector? What is the exposure that they have? And particularly for SBI, what could the damage be?
So I will not be able to tell you immediately what is the exposure of the banking industry to the power sector. SBI has an exposure of about 92,000 crores to the power sector.
Okay.
What I would like to tell you is most of these power projects are based on either imported coal or allocations from Coal India. Of course, yes, we have a couple of projects which are dependent on coal being mined from the blocks allocated to them. We'll have to take a call what will happen to these companies, whether they will be able to get coal allocated by Coal India, or they will be able to import coal, whether they'll be able to pass on the cost. We'll have to analyze case by case. It's too early for us to take a judgment on this.
Okay. Mr. Pradeep Kumar, would Bhushan now definitely be forced to default on its loans? They have one allocated coal mine. I don't know whether that has been mined already. Have you looked at that case lately?
No, it's being looked into. I don't think I'll be able to comment on individual cases right now.
But
too early to comment on individual cases.
Okay. But do you think at this point in time any of that 92,000 crore exposure could be jeopardized because you cannot mine coal, or is almost all your plants dependent on purchased coal?
Except I think 3-4 projects. We did a quick analysis yesterday. None of the other projects are dependent on the coal blocks allocated.
Okay.
In these projects also, there is always a possibility of getting coal either from Coal India or for importing coal. We'll have to assess what is the impact this will have on the cost of production, how much of it they'll be able to pass through based on the PPAs they have. Of course, it will take some time for us to analyze all this and come out to a conclusion. But I don't think that is, as I agree with Vinayak, there is no need to panic. Yes, some exposures will get affected, but I'm sure we'll be able to come out with a solution for that.
To be fair, actually, the market also has not panicked. There is a big bashing of power stocks, but the market as a whole has...
I think the Supreme Court has not said no, cancelled all the allocations.
No.
I think they are going to come out with a workable strategy of how to go forward. I'm sure that many of the companies financed by us will be able to continue to mine. Maybe the cost will change a bit. That we'll have to see.
Okay. No, in the event that the Supreme Court asks that mining not be done till it resolves the cases on a case-by-case basis, say appoints a court-empowered committee, a CEC, like it did in the mining ban cases in Karnataka and Goa. In that event, will a large part of your loans get affected? Because in that case, trucks that transport coal, the entire ecosystem could get affected. So
I agree with you that if it says stop mining, it may get affected. But quickly, if I recall, even in the 3 or 4 cases where you have exposure to coal blocks allocated, I don't think the mining has started as yet.
Okay.
So they are still dependent on coal. They are buying either free auctions or import, things like that. So I don't think there will be immediate impact.
Okay, fair enough. Do you think that, I know it may be difficult to assess the impact now, but do you think that a certain amount of restructuring would go up for the sector and for the bank as well? Also, there could be higher refinancing of loans for the sector?
Maybe. I think we'll have to take a call. The RBI's latest guidelines or refinancing would certainly help. Maybe in a couple of cases we may have to do it. It is too early to take a call.
Okay.